Hey, thanks for taking 5 with Wolf Gorlick. This is a few minutes riffing on IT and IT security, and today we're looking at privileged access management. Also today when this video is being posted, I am at the Kalahari. I'm at the Kalahari for the Code Mesh conference. If you are here, please say hello, give me a shout out on social media, we'll catch a drink, we'll play a board game. It'll be fun, right? Almost as fun as privileged access management, which is always a load of fun and always totally easy. Way back in the day when dinosaurs roamed the earth and I don't know, my hair was a little bit blacker, I was responsible for securing a mainframe. I had to do privileged access management on this mainframe. It was a pain because everyone logged in as root, and the only real way we could pass any sort of audits was with compensated controls, like installing tripwire everywhere. Upside, got to learn tripwire. Upside, that led me to meet Gene Kim, of course, the Phoenix Project. Whole other story. Point is this, there's a few things that you need to consider when you're doing privileged access management in a modern way in 2020. And that is things like least privilege, segregation of duties, things like the CIA triad. We're gonna talk about those today. Least privilege is pretty straightforward, right? I'm gonna give you all the access in the world to my systems, yay! First question is, do you really need to be privileged to complete your tasks? If there's any other way to do the job duties, you don't want to give these users privileged access. You don't want to give them admin access. You don't want to give them DBA, those sort of things. So that's the first place to start. Second place is, once we're going to grant them that, we're only going to grant them the access they actually need. Seems straightforward. But everyone and their brothers are going to be like, I need DA, I need to be domain admin to maintain my SQL server. No, you don't. You'll have DBO and you'll like it. No, so make sure that they don't have any more permissions than they absolutely need. And this needs to be checked regularly because job duties change and the permission models of our apps and our systems change. This ties right on also to segregation of duties. Kind of hard to codify, kind of hard to define, right? How do I know that if you have this duty or that duty, you'd create a problem? One of the most simple ones is things like, can I push code into production? That's probably the most simple segregation of duties out there. And the trick here is making people privileged users without violating SOD. What I usually simply say is the owner will make the determination of whether or not it violates any sort of SOD, and that kind of allows the human factor to keep things moving. Confidentiality, you want to make sure that initially as privilege and segregation duties, people attest that they will not use their rights to do anything more than the tasks that have been assigned to them. We've seen a couple incidents with insider threat in the recent years where people had, I don't know, access to Twitter direct messages, for example, and we're scraping those and providing those to people they shouldn't. Clear violation. So one, we want to make sure that they're not using access any other way than they are. Two, we want to make sure that they report and notify if they get exposed to any data they shouldn't. Like, for example, downloading all the HIPAA information from an EMR by accident. Because it happens. So that's confidentiality. Integrity, you want to make sure that the people are not tampering with the data, that is monitored and maintained. You know, you can't prevent it, but it's monitored. You want to make sure that they're trained, right? And this can be a wedge to get your admins and privileged users more training dollars, because you say in your policies and your processes that yes, people are trained to be a privileged user. They know what they're doing. This is important for availability and integrity. So we don't break things, so we don't screw up data. And in terms of availability, we also want to make sure that that folks are performing only the changes that are actually authorized. Now, all that needs to happen, and then we need to monitor, and that's a whole other conversation, but someone has to make sure that the people who have privileged access are the right people at a bare minimum. So you need to make sure that the revocation and the granting is tracked and audited in some sort of system. You're not just adding people to DA whenever they need it, and that the owner of the system is checking on a regular basis to make sure the right people have the right access. And that's about it for 5 minutes. I'm sure I missed something, and I'm sure you're gonna let me know, so please hit me up in comments or social media and let me know what you think is important when setting up privileged access. Cheers.